you know, it's just one of them days. Mm. Make sure to quench your thirst before you sew.
Hydrate.
Hydrate, people. Hydrate. Anyway, I'm Tiffany, and I'm here a minute early. Welcome to my quilting life. Today's Sunday, where I'm hoping to be happy-go-lucky like always on a Sunday. Oh. Today has been a horrible day. Yesterday was a horrible day. I have a horrible stomach ache, but we're going to keep on keeping on because that's just what I do. I've been dealing with it. And to top everything off, it is like 65 degrees outside. And
it's
69, whatever. It was 65 when I turned my phone on for this. But it's like 60-mile-an-hour winds out there.
Yeah, that is bad.
The gusts are crazy, which is drawing like more cold air. And if you guys have been watching me for a long time, you know, anything under 70 degrees that's my temperature. Anything under 70, it's like my bones ache, my legs ache, my brain aches, my body just does not work properly. And today, it started yesterday. I think it's the banana bread, but whatever. And my stomach hurts and it just will not quit. It won't quit. But anyway, here we are. Enough complaining.
You gonna say hi to everybody?
Let's see who's all here.
Okay, hold on, let me scroll to the top.
He's going to scroll to the top for me so that I can see. All right, let's see. We've got Debrina. That's an interesting name. Kathy, Linda, Heather, Karen, Beverly, Cecilia, Donna, Judy, Blanche, Janet, Danelle, Polly, Carol, Nanny, Geraldine, Norma, Mona, Robin, Linda, Joyce, Pat, Glenda, Judy, Tracy, Nancy, MJ Sews, Tamla, Andrea, and so many more. Make sure you say, hi, Thumper. Hi. Tell everyone, hi. Say to
Mama,
all the people
being
Mama
weird.
missed, hello.
Says, Mama, you're being
Is that
weird.
why he's staring at me funny?
Says, you're being weird, Mama.
You're not going to say hi? Say hi, everybody. No? Can I get you?
I'm going back to sleep.
He's going to go back to licking, not really sleeping. He's been annoying us with his licking. Oh, you're just going to stand here now, huh? Oh.
It's attention.
What, do you want to sew? Is that what it is? You want to come up here and sew with me? No? Okay, walk away. All right, today's project is not a project. It's a mix project. So I get open gate boxes all the time, and I save the box. Why? Because it's convenient, and I fill them up with junk. So what kind of junk is in here? A bunch of pre-cut stuff. I remember getting this in a mail package a long while ago. It is quarter square or whatever square triangles. More quarter square or whatever. This could be half square. I think these are quarter when they have the notch off the top because these are pre-cuts from a die cutting system. We got some big ones. So these ones would be the half square triangle ones because they have a point. I'm pretty sure that's how it works with the die cutting system. But we got some squares in here. So they're like green, blue, and red. It looks like green, blue, and red of all of these. And then there's also a blue with a flower. And this one has that blue with the flower, but it's the same repeat of colors. And then there is stack of, I don't need the box now, so I can just throw that out of the way. Some strip pieces as well that are, looks like the size of the square, but a long strip. And it's the same exact colors. And if I remember correctly, the person that sent this to me, this is one of those cotton cuts challenge fabrics. This, like, they send pre-cut pieces, as a challenge to make whatever out of. So that is what I'm going to do, is challenge myself to use all these fabrics to make who knows what, because why not? So I'm just going to like lay all these groupings out like this, and I am going to create something out of all these, and then that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create something out of these pieces and see what happens. So that's what I'm doing today. And now I don't get the Cotton Cuts mystery quilts, although I've been wanting to for a few years now, but I just haven't pulled the trigger. But I would love to try one of these days. Eventually, I will. And then I will have my own amounts of whatever fabrics left over that, come with those monthly kits to put, your puzzle mystery quilts together. I couldn't even think of the word for that moment. So here we go. I have some big things, some little things. What could I make with this stuff? Can they see right here? This is seeable, right? Okay. Ow, that hurt. I just need my desk funky all like. All right. Okay. So I'm going to move these over sideways. Right off the bat, you know what I see? I see this, and I don't think it matters. And then I see this and this going like this, like that, like this. And I see this going right here. So right off the bat, I see this block. Okay, well then, whatever. And this is just their challenge thing. All right, I also see a block like this, which is an hourglass, which is what we worked on last week. And that's going to be about the same size as that one. What else do I see here? Okay, so I'm going to lay these out of the way just so that we can see what we got going on here. We got one block, two blocks. What else can I make? Let's see. How tall are these? Those are taller. If I use these to make in piles like this, how many will I get? I don't know. How many of those will I get? I don't know. I guess I can come up with something with the leftovers. These little ones would go for that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sew, and I'll have some of these left, and then these strips. I have no idea what to do with the strips, but they could be like sashing or something. This will be about this size when this block is together, so that'll work for that. Okay, so there's something to do with those. And then these will be the opposite side. Ooh, you know what? That works perfect. Look at that. See, so each block can be surrounded with the longer pieces. Hey, I'm coming up with things here. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to make this block an hourglass block. I don't know what this block is actually called, but there's that one.
You're making up your own.
Yeah, and then an hourglass, and then whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. Hey, I figured something out. All right, so I'm just going to sew this to this side. And look, they're pre-cut things with these little notches, so it's easy to line everything up. But let's make sure I am sewing with a 1/4-inch seam, because I haven't touched my machine in a week. Yep, I know, I said that out loud.
Hey, you've been long arming this week.
Yeah. All right.
Been working.
Let's sew this side on. And then these are batiks, so I could just finger press that and then put it back where it goes. Put this side on. Look at this. Works out perfect. Hey. And then finger press that out. And let's see. Is it the same size? Like it meant to be together. So I'm just going to lay those right sides together. Line it up. Line up the notches. And then I'm going to make sure that when I sew this, I sew right in front of where those fabrics come together so that I don't lose my point. I wonder if this is what they meant to do with all this. All right, so this we'll call block A. We're just going to finger press that towards the single. Be very careful because that one is on the bias. And if you guys want to know the sizes of these things, I'm not sure how to tell you with these half ones, but since I think these were half square triangle sizes, this looks to be a 6.5 inch. So these pieces were 6.5 inch cut on the diagonal once, because again, this is the not bias on the outer side. So that would have been half square triangle. The little squares, so that way we're showing you guys what these are 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then these side ones, these are cut in half also because it has a straight right here. So that means that side is straight of grain. Can you hear that sound? That's how you know that's straight of grain. If it stretches, you don't hear nothing. So these were 3.5 inches and cut in half on the diagonal once. And then these bigger ones for the next block, these ones have a pinch on them. So that means, see, that is the, there's a word.
You know the name of the fabric?
I have no idea the name of this fabric, no. This is the bias, and this is the straight of grain. So that means this came from the outside of the block. So I'm going to measure from here to here. So that means this was a 6.5 inch square cut on the diagonal twice to get this one. And then these are 3.5, obviously, by 9.5. And the shorter one is, look at that. I'm able to give you guys all of these because that's what they are now. 3.5 by 6.5. So there we have it. Those are all the sizes of all the stuff that I'm using today. All right, so there's one block. We'll call that A. Now we're going to make this hourglass block. It doesn't really matter which order I put them in because there's only 4 different colors I'm using anyway for this project because that's how many are in this little thing. One, 2, and now I'm just going to finger press them. One side or the other, it really doesn't matter at this point. I am using Essentials thread from Connecting Threads. There's a Connecting Threads link. Scotty can put one in. All right, and now I'm going to finger press at this. And now both of these should be, look at that, exactly 6.5. And I haven't even pressed these yet either, 6.5. So look at that, block A and block B, complete. Check it out. So now I just need to repeat that process however many times until I run out of pieces. So I'm going to mix these ones up though. I don't want all these to be the same. So those are going to get mixed up, and that's probably why there's going to be leftovers of that, but not of these. So here we go. We're going to just stick all these like this because I'm going to piece all of these exactly the same. Just like that. And they'll get rotated per color that I add on the side. And then these ones we're just going to mix up. So I'm going to bring these over here and mix everything up. So we just did blue. So now I'm going to do green. So I need 2 of these. And then we're going to put a dark blue here. This. And a red as the big one. Right here. Just like that. I probably might be easier to do all those pieces first, but we're going to do all these first, I guess, or mix it up, I guess. It's not very hard to do these. These are pretty easy to do. Plus everything matches up being die cut. This one, right side. It's hard to tell which side is the right and wrong side of a batik. But if you don't know, then it doesn't matter because guess what? It doesn't matter. They're the exact same on both sides most of the time. Most of the time, the wrong side has just a little bit more fading to it, and the right side is a little bit more bolder. Other than that, they usually look exactly the same. All right. So that's nice and pressed. And look, now I have a different color one. Well, let's make another one. Let's use this one now. Oh, let's do it this way because it's easier for my brain. We'll put green on this one and blue as this one. Okay. These should go pretty quick. I love it when a plan comes together.
Like it's saying, the 18.
Hopefully everybody was able to write down those numbers that I gave. If not, you can rewind the video. Just in case you want to make something similar to what I'm making. It's only 4 colors we're working with here. So it wouldn't have been much fabric. It was probably 1 yard of each color, honestly. And here's another one. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. So I'm just going to keep mixing those up. Or we can sew some hourglasses. How about that? Let's sew some of these. They're all getting sewn exactly the same, and I can chain piece these ones through. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful weekend this weekend. All of you who celebrate Halloween and go out and trick-or-treat with your kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and just kids, plural, lots of them, you know. Hopefully you're ready for all the excitement and crazy children with the sugar
Tuesday.
on Tuesday. Yeah. I did not use the AccuCutter to die cut these pieces. These came to me already die cut, and I'm, like I said, if I remember correctly, they were what Cotton Cuts sends out as a challenge. They send a bunch of leftover cuts or miscuts from something, and they challenge people to put them together. Well, I accept that challenge. Just from my friend who sent them to me. Speaking of friends, did you guys catch Ian and Becca on Becca's So Becca, the channel So Becca? If you type in explanation Becca, you'll get a link to her channel. Did you catch Ian and Becca on Friday night? Where Ian sat next to Becca as the Iron Man, but didn't iron. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyway.
How's that the Iron Man then?
He was right there. He could have ironed. He said he could have ironed, but it was a tight spot. Anyway, and then today Ian was on with Becca on his channel. If you type in explanation Ian, it'll take you to the Off Kilter Crafter Ian's channel. And there you will find more silliness from the two of them. And just think, in February of 2024, it'll be the 3 of us on each of our channels. I don't know whose, probably mine, probably hers, probably his, you know, just all over the place. we will just have lots of fun. So you don't want to miss out, because in February, I have no idea what our schedules look like, but we're going to be having fun. Huh? Okay. These pieces were quarter square triangles. So they were a square, a piece of fabric that was cut on the diagonal twice. So that way the straight grain is on the outer side to keep whatever block you make straight. So that was a 6.5. These were 6.5-inch squares cut on the diagonal twice. And now I remember because I'm literally right here. Then the square that's in here was a 3.5-inch square. Just 3.5 by 3.5-inch square. Then these two sides of this one are 3.5-inch squares cut on the diagonal one time. That's how I know, because they had a little point on them and they weren't chopped off, because that's what the die cutter does. So that makes the straight grain on the outside of the block. And then these big, huge blocks, the straight grain, again, outside of the block. This is the bias seam right here. So that made this was a 6.5-inch square cut on the diagonal once. And then these were the 3.5s cut on the diagonal once. And then all the other cuts were 6.5 by 3.5, which I haven't got to that part yet. And then 9.5 by 3.5. And then that's it. That's all the cuts. Yes, that's what we're working with.
Do you have any plans for your birthday?
Do I have plans for my birthday? Well, my birthday falls on what is it, Saturday this year?
Yeah. What are you doing for it?
I am going to Vegas for my birthday, but not just because of my birthday. I'm going because my daughter is being picked up from the airport for my son's wedding. Alexa's flying in from Tennessee, and we are going to go on a roller coaster. Let's just hope my stomach don't hurt then. But yeah, we're going to pick her up from the airport, go ride a roller coaster, and then come home, because I'll be pooped by the time we do airport. Let alone, just the drive alone is going to kill me, yeah. So by the time we drive there, go to the airport, and walk, one or two casinos to get to the one with the roller coaster that we're going to, I'll be pooped. I'll be done for, so it'll be time to get back on the road and come home, make dinner, and go to bed, because that's pretty much what we'll probably do. So that is what I plan to do for my birthday. And no, before you ask, I'm not going to go to any of the quilt shops, not going to visit. So yeah, this is just a Vegas trip to pick up my daughter, ride a roller coaster, and come home and spend my birthday with my kids. So that's what we're doing. It'll be fun. I wish I could record being on the roller coaster, but they have this absolutely no phones posted thing, because people drop that stuff, I guess, and it's on the roof of the New Yorker, or New York, New York. So they don't want anybody dropping their phones on top of their rooftops, I guess, So obviously I won't be able to record my experience on the roller coaster, but I could tell you from experience, because I rode it with Eric at the beginning of this year, it's fun. I did 2 times on a roller coaster in 1 year.
I know.
That's actually pretty good, because
You're lucky. I haven't.
because I hadn't rode a roller coaster or any kind of park ride since my hysterectomy in 2013, right? Yeah. So it's been a long time since I had any kind of carnival ride, let alone a roller coaster.
Do you mean for all those to be the same?
What do you mean? Yes, all these are going to be the exact same. I'm just going to rotate them with the longer pieces to add around them. I'll rotate the way the orientation is of them. So that's why I'm sewing them all exactly the same. I think whatever I make out of this jumbled mess, whatever it'll end up looking like, I think it'll look cool. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. It's batik, so I'm going to assume just right off the bat it's going to be beautiful, because, I love the bright and saturated color of the batiks. I love, that's why I love batiks, because their color is very vibrant. I'm definitely a vibrant color fabric lover. don't know how many I'm at by now, but I do kind of want to have an equal amount of both. So I'm going to actually count real quick what I'm at. Because I didn't, as you saw, I didn't pre-count anything. I kind of just am going with what's here. So there's 1 block, 2 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. How many pieces are available for these? How many did we make of these so far? We made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I'll get 23 of these blocks. And what was I at on this? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'll get 23 of both blocks. So I'm wondering if there's enough of the longer pieces to do the exact on. There's more squares, I can tell. So those might be used. Oh, cornerstones. Oh, that'll work. Yeah. Yep, I'm coming up with more ideas while I'm here because it looks like there's way more squares than 23. But like I said, right off the bat, I'm pretty sure this is somewhere around 1 yard of each. Could be 1.5 yards. Probably more closer to 1.5 yards now that I'm looking at it all of each color. This will be fun. Whatever it turns out to look like. It's a puzzle mystery. We don't know what it's going to look like. Can only assume that it's going to be nice. Hourglasses are probably really, just like half square triangles. They're super easy to sew and chain piece together if you lay them next to you, because you have just like we worked on last week, you have the top and the bottom. So you would put the point in first, and then the next one would be the flat, and that's how you keep them in order. I wish I knew the fabric line, though, because this flowery one would be really pretty as a border around whatever it is that I'm making here. All right, we're getting close. Only a few more left to sew, and then we'll put the sets of 4 pieces into blocks. That was pretty quick. Yeah. I'm Miss Speedy Quiltologist. Get her done. All right. So just like I did last week when I was making hourglasses, we separate them in sets of 2. And it'll just be a bunch of repeats of the same block over and over again. 23 of them to be exact.
Do you have enough strips of the flowery fabric to make a border?
No, but it's okay because I'm just gonna make blocks and I'll look through my stash. I might have something similar. All right, which way did I press that first one? Let's see, I pressed towards the blue and I pressed towards the red.
How about 4 patches with the squares?
4 patches with the squares. We'll see, because at this time it looks like I could have those as cornerstones. But we'll see. Just depends on how I set this up. We'll see. I'm looking at the pieces and deciphering what to do. All the while sewing pieces. I guess it doesn't really matter which way I press them, as long as they're pressed nicely to one side or the other. And I nest that center up.
Need me to iron it?
Not really yet.
What snips do you use?
I mostly use these snips right here. You can get these on Amazon. You can get these on eBay. You can get these at most quilt shops. They are just a metal snip. They're really easy to use. My last pair lasted me 6 years before the centerpiece right here, the metal thing, wore itself out and it popped them open. But I do use my Singer snips here as well. These actually work really good too. Problem is I never use the finger part of them. You know, I don't know. It's easier to just snip with them. But yeah, I use those too. Those are the 2 types of snips that I have. I have had other ones over the years, but I really don't know what happened to any of them.
You remember how many hourglass blocks you made last Sunday?
We counted them. 200 and was it 216?
I don't remember.
It was 200 and something of hourglass blocks we made last week. Yes. Yeah. We put them in piles of 10. I pressed them and had Scott put them in piles of 10 so that we can count. It was like 216 because we were off on making it to 20. You're like, you could just piece a couple more and you'll have an exact amount. It's like it really didn't matter. I have not done English paper piecing, although I do have the little thingamabobbers. What are they called? They're over there on a shelf. The little, there's a word for it. The little papers that you would put your fabric on and then glue it to create a form to do that. Yes, they're hexagons. I do have a couple packages of those, and I think I'm going to use those to go, when I go to Virginia. I'm on the plane. I think I'm going to use those I'm going to learn how to do that. While I'm on the plane, I shall teach myself. Because why not? I just have to prep all the fabric before going. Because, yeah. That would be a lot easier to have it all ready, and all I have to do is sew.
One with the big flowers for close-up. I think that's this one.
Yep. It's really pretty. Very, very pretty.
Big flowers.
I might have something similar because they look like sunflowers.
I'm going to put them back the same as that one. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want to
that's fine. Thank you.
When are you going on your trip to Virginia?
I am going, I'm flying out on a Monday. I don't know, February 20th or 19th or something like that. Whatever day is a Monday. And then I'm coming back in March. Whatever day is the first Monday in March. That's when I'm coming back. I will still do my Sew Sundays while I'm out, whether it's just sitting and chatting and hanging out with friends, or if I'm sewing at Becca's house. That will all depend on our schedule and the things that we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be at Becca's house. And we're going to QuiltCon. So if you are in Raleigh, North Carolina area, QuiltCon is like February 23rd through 27th or 24th through 27th. I don't remember it. It runs, I think it's Wednesday night till Sunday. Or maybe it's Thursday through Sunday. I have no idea. I know we're going to an awards ceremony, and I think that's Wednesday night. I'm not 100% on that, but anyway. So there's that. If you want to meet me on the East Coast, that's where I will be at QuiltCon. And then I'm going to go to Becca's for a little while after that. And then we're also, that next weekend, we are going to the Mid-Atlantic Quilt. It's either show or fest. I'm not entirely sure of the name, but it's in Virginia, near the beach. So like the ocean side of Virginia. If Becca's still here, she'd be able to tell you. So if you guys are in Virginia or any of those areas, right there, closer to that than you are in North Carolina, then you can meet me at that show. But I don't know exactly the days just yet. I will know that in the future, and then I'll be able to tell you. I'm pretty sure we're just doing that one on Friday and Saturday, but again, I'm not 100%. Or just Friday or just Saturday. It's something like that. I will let everybody know in the community tab when that time comes. That way you know a little bit in advance, because I don't even know exactly at this point. But there will be 2 opportunities to meet me for however short period of time while I'm on the East Coast. While I'm in all of your time zones. I'll be 2 hours different from my time zone here, but I will still go on at my normal time. So if I come on Sew Sunday at 5 p.m. my time here, I'll still come on at my times. Time while I'm on the East Coast. I'll try to keep everything as normal as possible. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Supposedly it's Mancuso Quilt Festival in Hampton Roads, Virginia.
I have no idea. I just know it's the beach area. Is that what Becca said? Oh. Okay. All I know is it's something Mid-Atlantic Quilt something or other. That's all I know. And it's in February, March, end of February. It's the last days of February. Almost done with these, and I could start figuring out how to chain piece the other ones, because those are getting mixed up. Oh, you know what? There's going to be a ton of extra of these and the squares. You know what? A square and a square. I could make those as well, and that would be another block. Still not thinking there's enough of the longer pieces, but we're going to see. Yeah. Square and a square, that would work. See, I'm coming up with things while I'm, thinking. I'm thinking. I'm looking and thinking. This is going to make a pretty good size whatever, because those going to be a lot of pieces here. Stop, take a drink. As soon as I'm done with these, can you recount them to make sure that I have that specific amount so that I can pre-count out all those?
Yeah, you want me to count the ones that you haven't cut?
I'm going to give you this stack when I'm finished sewing, so this will be part of it, obviously. And then you can press all of them.
Ooh, I got the iron.
Yeah. We'll do the counting and stuff and pressing. That way I can count out the next amount of stuff.
I get to iron.
Mr. Iron Man is going to do some ironing for me. Here's one for you guys. Do you call it ironing or do you call it pressing with your quilting? Like, do you specifically use the word, I need to press my fabrics? Or do you specifically use the word, I need to iron my fabrics? I seem to be on the both of them. I either say iron or I say press.
That's because I use iron.
Scott uses iron and I say press more. But I say both consistently. Like, I interchange. Even though in quilting, technically we're pressing, because ironing is swiping and pressing is dab the iron down kind of thing. But kind of curious the amount, and I can see the screen right here, sort of. That's like interchangeable words, but not in the quilting world. So I'm kind of curious.
A lot of them use both. Most say iron because they're using an iron.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. It's saying iron because you're using an iron. But then I say pressing because I'm pressing the fabric. I don't know. It just seems weird. It's a weird conversation, but I'm just curious. So are a lot saying both? They use it interchangeably like me?
A lot of them. That seems to be with the majority. Entire iron or both.
Here you go. It don't matter which way you press, whatever way. But just count those. That way I can pre-count all these out. Okay, so I have 3 here. Let me see my combos of colors, just so that I get a general idea of the combinations I'm going to make. So we have, I'm going to move everything out of the way except for these so that I can make some color combo stackies here. I'm going to do that one, this one, and that one. How many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. there's probably 5 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one. Do I what? I use starch sometimes. I keep a bottle of the fontless heavy starch with no smell, the unscented kind, because that's the stinks. All of it stinks, and the aerosol of it stinks, and it just fills the room. I have a bottle of the lavender too, but I don't really like it because it's really strong. So
You pointed out to me at Walmart, I can't think of the name of it.
the Stay Flow or Staflow or Stafflow or however it's pronounced. Yeah. All right, so I used the green, this one, and this one. So technically this one gets red. And then I've used all but this one. Oh man.
According to this lady,
that makes it unequal.
Worked at a dry cleaner. Pressing is when you don't move the iron. You just put a big flat.
Yeah, see, I worked at a dry cleaner too. Pressing. Yeah. We also had steaming where we put the item over this mannequin looking thing and then you push your foot on the pedal and it goes and it blows out steam for like, men's dress shirts and stuff. And then we would press the creases and so on and so forth if they wanted them. I worked in a dry cleaner for 2 years. So yeah. The wedding is coming shortly. I haven't used this one yet, but I can't do that because that matches that. I'm trying to make them all different. Let's do green. Whatever. Let's just do this one blue. Okay, I'm going to stack them now. So let's say I've done that one because I want to try to chain piece the lot of all this. So we're going to do one of these. I'm going to grab 2 of these, one for each side. And now we'll use one of these. And then we'll make another one. We'll do the blue. And then we'll put blue with green. Excuse me. I've been sneezing with the wind all day today too, by the way. It's all dry too. Just dry sneezing.
You're the one that opened the door and let it all in.
Yeah, I did. I opened the door this morning, not paying attention to which direction the wind was blowing. So it blew all the stuff into the front door. Yeah, and filled the whole front room with dust. All right, red with.
Bless you.
Thank you. This with a blue. Scotty and I want to know, do you guys want us to do an auction today when he's done ironing? How would you like that? Well, did you count them, by the way?
Oh. I can't count, read, and talk to you all at the same time.
Okay.
That's like saying 5, 8, 34, 7, 1.
Green and red.
What, you want the count before I'm done ironing?
No,
I couldn't give you the count first. You didn't say that. You said iron them and count them. I figured I could do it in whatever order I wanted.
Red. And then we'll do this one. And then we'll do a flowery one with blue. With green. Yes. Then we're going to do blue with red with flowery one because I hadn't done very many flowery ones. And then we're going to do
flowery ones are pretty.
Red with flowery ones and a green. Trying to equal this out here, guys. Then we're going to do green with blue with red. There's probably hundreds of combinations I could possibly do here. Flowery with red with green. Red with flowers with blue. Green with red with blue. No, red. No, flowers. Then flower and red. No, blue. It's the last one. It's that one. And then we're going to do red. Now we're on blue and green and red. Then we're going to go red.
Blue and green and red?
Then blue. Then green. Green. Floweries. And blue. Not right now. No. Yeah. And blue. Green. And red. Then blue. Flowers. And green. All right. My whole stack is ready for me to... He's counting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yep, okay, it was. All right, here we go. I'm going to chain.
24.
There's 24 of those?
Yes.
And there's 23 of these.
I can recount.
Oh, it's fine. All right, I'm going to chain piece all these together first, and then add the other side. Can you fix the seam on the back of that?
You told me to iron it, however, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I just not as long as they're flat, not
Flat.
bent.
Iron it on the back side on each one?
Yes.
Why
So-
didn't you say that?
To push that seam flat.
You said it didn't matter as long as they were flat. They are flat.
All right, so I'm going to chain piece this whole section first, and then I'll lay it back out in order, and then do the other side of it, and then lay those back out, from bottom to top. In my mind, it's how I keep things in order. Hopefully keep things in order. How about that?
There, are you happy now?
Yes, thank you.
With the smaller triangles, you can make your small hourglass stems. Hourglass blocks.
I could, or I could make a square and a square, which I'm kind of curious how big that will be. Will that be a 6.5-inch block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Minus all those seams. It'd be close. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Have to see. If anything, they can go in my unused pile. Which will go into my hourglass blocks, but that's a lot of waste to cut those down to 2 inches. On the smaller ones, I mean, because they were 3.5. And if you put the 4 of them together, it's going to be like 5.5 inches or so, or 6 inches. And that'll be 5.5. Trying to think off the top of my head. All right, so this is going to be the bottom. So when I snip this, I'm just going to press this out and place it right here. Press it with my finger, place it right here. And I'm going to stack all these up. And then sew the opposite side on, which should be in order. Everything should be in a good order.
Will you be doing an accent sashing or just square to square?
No, it's going to have the other pieces in here. So I will be using the other pieces from all this stuff. I'm just trying to use only what was in the package. So the quilt will be the same 4 fabrics over and over again. Kind of like those 3-yard quilts where it's the same 3 fabrics just utilized in different ways. It's kind of like that, but this is 4 fabrics. Let's hope that they're all still in the proper order. I have not unsewn anything, so it shouldn't have gotten out of order. All right, now to sew the opposite side on. Just gonna turn it around like this, sew all these opposite ones on, and they should be back in the same order that they're supposed to be in, or that I laid them in. Just matching everything up. Chain piecing on through. Makes this go so much easier. Oh, someone asked about the wedding, huh? And I got distracted. Yeah. So I went to Walmart, and got clear thread. So now I can finish the bottom of the dress with the clear thread. So that is my goal for tomorrow to get completed, is finishing the bottom of the dress. Again, I can't show you because she doesn't want nobody to see until Damon sees it on her. So it's a secret dress. It's so adorable. She's so adorable. The top row has caps lock, or the side, does it show it? That side thing? Can you see it on the light?
No, the button is turned off. The thing is broke.
Oh.
Turn it on, then it stays off. But how do I get it to correct itself?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Let me see.
Eric wants to know when the wedding is.
The wedding is the 9th.
Are you coming out for it, Eric?
It is the 9th of
They wouldn't mind if you showed up.
November.
See, the light is off. Yeah, I've done that. See?
Interesting. Interesting. Caps lock is now lowercase.
I broke another device by doing nothing.
Okay, Scott has now broken another device, if you didn't hear. Caps lock is now lowercase and not caps lock is uppercase. How he did that, I do not know. I'll have to mess with the computer later. I am far from technology inclined, so I have no idea how he does what he does with these devices.
You know way more about technology than me.
But I am able to somewhat fix some of the problems. I'm getting better at it. Tablets and phones, though, still struggle. The computers, I'm getting a little bit better. Did it? It fixed itself while he was typing. That's kind of funny. It's a cheapy computer.
Yeah, but it's me. It happens no matter what I use. I could use it. Happens no matter what I do.
Okay, so now there's last one, and then I'm going to take them apart in the same order that this one is obviously the bottom piece. So again, I'm just going to snip it apart, finger press it. This is the first. So that's the bottom piece. So they should be in the order now that I want them to be, that I laid them out. And again, since these are just batiks, they're really easy to finger press, making it really easy to put blocks together without getting up and pressing or ironing. Hopefully I don't say that every time. I got to figure out one word and just stick with it.
What happens if they're not in order? Do you self-destruct?
I do not self-destruct when they're not in order. And I've had problems where they've not been in order, and how they've not been in order, I have no idea. But it has happened, and most of the time I just fix the order. I go through and look and see. As long as nothing is matching from this piece to this piece, this kind of piecing wouldn't matter. But if it was like a specific block where they're all supposed to be in a specific order, and I'm running like sections of a certain color going this way and a certain color, I would definitely have to put all of it back in order again. But yeah, it's happened. I've, just never really have a meltdown. I just work with it and fix what I got to fix. I have sewn them in the wrong order too before.
What are you wearing to the wedding?
I don't know what I'm wearing to the wedding.
We don't know what either of us are wearing.
I don't know if you guys have noticed because, you're on the other side of the camera, but I have gained a little bit of weight since the passing of my son.
Not much.
A little. I gained enough to where I do not fit none of my shorts or none of my jeans right now. So my only option is to wear a dress. Problem being is a lot of my dresses are made for the smaller size that I was a couple, months back. So I'm unsure. So I'll probably take all of my dresses out of the closet, throw them on the bed, okay, this doesn't look like anything I could wear to a wedding, and just go through them and then finally land on, say, 4 dresses and put them all on, and hopefully one fits properly.
You gotta tell me what I'm wearing.
And then I have to dress Scott because he doesn't even know what he's wearing. He definitely cannot wear gym shorts and a t-shirt like
Which is
he
what I wear
wears on
24/7.
a daily basis. All right. It looks like Scotty's going to pull something out and we're going to start an auction. And this auction is going, if you haven't been on my channel for an auction, they can go in $1 increments or you can go in 5, you can go in 15. I don't care how many, as long as it's not in 50-cent tickets. That just takes too long. But we're going to start this one off at $15. This quilt right here that you are seeing before your very eyes was in 2 vlog videos ago. This is a 2-person quilt. My friend Becca over at Sew Becca has pieced the top of this quilt. It is a giant flower. And then I have took it upon myself to heavily overly quilt this with beautiful quilting. That took me a long time to do. So there's the big, huge flower quilt. And that's what I named it, is the flower quilt, and it is pieced by Becca Shiflett and quilted by Tiffany Groff. I even put it on the tag. You're not going to get a very flat measurement of it. It's like 44 by 46 or 7 or something like that. It's a weird number.
I'm getting 44 again.
Oh, it's 44 by 44. I thought it was an oddball number. But yeah, it is, the back is a solid, so you could see the quilting like fully on the back. The leaves are quilted with leaves. There's, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's quilted in the color cotton candy thread because the pink kind of just looks good with all of it. So I did a feather type design around here. I did a swirly design here, leaves and leaves, and like there's a word for it. I cannot get it out of my brain. Hold on. Orange peel or cathedral window style on the flowers itself. And then this whole entire border all the way around is every 1/4 of an inch. There is a piano key border. Every 1/4 of an inch, there is a stitch all the way around. Scotty's coming up close to show you guys everything. Forgot to pre-warn me so I could say camera's moving. Sorry. But he's showing you up close. It's a very stiff wall hanging. Let's just say that.
Becca and you both did.
But it's Becca and me both together to make this quilt. We're at 40 so far.
Eric wants to know what pattern it is.
I don't know. If Becca was on, she'd be able to tell you, but it's some kind of big flower. It's a giant flower pattern. That's all I know. Because that's what I called it. The flower quilt.
We'll flip it around and then
Scotty's turning it around. Hello. They're looking at the side of my head.
Oh, watching you sew.
He's flipping the quilt around. And sorry you guys are shaking. Every time we stand on this mat, it makes the camera wiggle.
I'm sorry.
The camera wiggles really easily right here because it's heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy quilt. You never auction off anything this big.
Yeah, it's rare we auction off heavy quilts like this.
Sorry.
All right, he's going to show you the quilting on the back.
Yes.
The back is like a whole cloth quilt. Just so you know. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Makes a great wall hanging. We're at 50. Saying it out loud just so that you guys can hear. I'm losing my points on a couple of these. And My back itches. Oh. I'll flip it back around one more time so it stays on the front.
There.
Like I said, the back looks like whole cloth, which is really cool. And before you ask, no, I have not made a whole cloth quilt yet, but I have made it quilts with solid backings that look like a whole cloth when I'm done with them. Yeah, I did. He's going to turn it back around so that you guys can stare at the giant flower for a few more minutes while I sew my pieces together.
She should be on now.
What?
If it was on here, she should still be here. She can talk about it.
She's probably falling asleep, though,
I'm sure.
because she watches in bed before going to bed, because she works tomorrow. I need to take a drink of water. Yeah, this little quilt took a long time to quilt, only because of the stitching around the edge, every quarter of an inch. That took for a while. It took me a while. A few more of these to go. And we're going to see what we got going on with the other pieces to see how big this thing can be. What else I could make to go along with it all. What's it at?
Is it 60?
We're at 60.
Grandma J. When quilting on the long arm, do you break stitches?
When quilting on the long arm, do I what?
Break in between stitches.
No. Depends on what I'm doing. That would cause me to need to break stitches.
Bury the thread.
I don't need to bury the threads because on the long arm, I pull the bobbin thread to the top and then tie it off. And that way it is at the top and there's no need to bury any threads. So it makes it easy for me.
Did you use a straight edge when you quilted the border?
Yes, I used a straight edge ruler when I quilted it. All right, I have now made all of these pieces. Alrighty.
Okay, we're at 65.
We're at 65. I'm finger pressing all these first before sending them off to Mr. Scotty to press.
Oh, my iron in again? Hold on, I plug the iron in. Doing the right thing. Hold on. Okay, iron is plugged in.
another minute.
Want me to count these then?
No, there's 23. I've counted twice now. Yep, I've counted twice. It's okay. Either way, I'm probably going to have to pull one or two from one of the piles, you know, because there's never an even or odd number when you do projects like this.
Tell them no, we're doing an auction, not
No.
counting someone's weight.
No, we're doing an auction. What was it? They were guessing someone's weight?
Yeah, guessing someone's weight.
Oh.
We're at $70.
We're at
Susan
70
Gabriel.
with Susan at the moment. All right, here's those. All right, what can I do with this now? How many of these are there? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably 10 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on, come on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's going to be 10 of each, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And we'll check these just because. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's 10 of each of these. And there's probably 10 of each of these. I'm just going to count one stack because I really don't want to like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that would give 40. If there's 20 and there's 20 of those, that gives 40. These would, I don't know what else I could make out of these other ones besides a 3-piece. Oh, let's see. Hold on. I have an idea. So I could use one of these, and this would be like a 3-piece kind. So it would be one of these, one of these, one of these, and then the opposite side would be this, this, and that, like this. So that would give the right side, and that would put the straight grain on the outside of all of it. So that could be another block. It looks like there's enough to probably do this all over again. And that does give me 40 of those. And that's 40 of those there. That would be 4. How many is 40? How many down and how many across?
44 and 10, 20 and 2. What else do you want?
What's 6? 6 is 36, right?
Yes.
What would be
5 times 8.
7 and 7 is 48.
No,
No,
7 cents.
49. I mean, hold on, I'm thinking here. So it'd be 6. What's 6, 7?
42.
42. And there's 4. If there's 23 in that pile and 20 something in this pile, there's enough to do it with these only and use these towards a pieced border. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a pieced border with these because there's no other way around that number. And I can hook these together and create fun pieced border out of these. That would be cool. So I'm going to set these aside. And we're going to grab all of this. No, I didn't give you those. All right. What I'm going to do. No, it's fine. I'm good.
Which
Just
pile was it that
you're
wanted
done.
me to iron upside down?
Okay. This one. But no, it's fine. Well, not really.
See, you wanted me to iron them upside down. Making it the opposite of how it was ironed. I ironed it down that way.
Yeah, but
Let's
the
do the whole
piece
thing.
goes this way. The whole thing is already that way,
Yeah.
so it needs
Do you
to
want me
go
to
that
do it
way.
upside down? Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it.
That one's good. This one's not.
I would do it. I can iron it upside down. I got the iron on. Iron is ready.
That's good. No.
What pile is this going in?
Those all need to be fixed. That's good. Slightly fixed. Slightly. All right. What are we at, Scotty?
Last I saw we were at 70, but I forget the person's name. I have to scroll back up.
Okay.
I was going to wait till we were done ironing and then call it. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's over. No one said anything since 70.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab your
Why don't
computer.
you take the camera and show it to them one last time with you moving it instead of me?
Okay, we're gonna show the quote one last time, and then I'm gonna grab the computer.
Bid above 70, please bid again because I haven't seen it, but I'm ironing, so I'm not paying that close attention.
Come on. Camera's moving one last time. See the quilting one last time.
Don't think anybody went above 70. No one said anything.
We're not sure where it's at because Scott's ironing. He just has to scroll and see. That's why I'm showing you guys again.
I would take it.
There it
It was
is.
Susan Gabriel.
Susan Gabriel was at 70, and it hasn't changed since then. Susan Gabriel at 70 going once.
Hold on, finish showing it to him.
I am showing it. Susan Gabriel going twice at 70. Make sure you tell me if it's changed.
Yeah, wait. Valerie Bull went to 75.
Valerie Bull changed it to 75.
You gotta wait. That's why I'm saying wait till I'm done ironing before you call it. I was just seeing where we were at. Jumping the gun.
Set 75. All right. Now to lay these out. So I'm going to just wait till all those are fixed.
Yeah, I only got like 4 more.
All right, so I'm going to, I think I'll choose the color that's on the outer side. Or should I match them or do 2 different colors? Kind of thinking 2 different colors. It will really mix this up, you know? So this one on one side, that one on the other.
You should have told me to iron these upside down first off. It's harder to iron now.
Yeah.
Than it was to begin with.
I don't know if you guys can see right here at my sewing machine, but what do you think of 2 different colors? Or what would you think if it was the same color as the big part of the block? Or, this is or.
Got a lot of ors going on.
Or if this sashing went on with the same color as this one, although those I don't know if there's an equal amount of, but we'll just say the same color as my square, creating a whole different block.
One person said 2 different colors. That's all you got so far.
So we have the block being 2 different colors on the side with the big triangle, the side with the big triangle all the same color, or the side with the square the same color as the square, or it could be different colors. Let's do one more. Let's lay it out. side with the
Two people said different colors and one said first swap.
square. Let's do that color's not in it, and that one's already on the edge. See, that wouldn't look good because each one would have the same one on the edge. So it'd have to be this style. It's impossible to do this style right here without it matching, because it has to match one of the colors or not. Yep, we're going to mix them up like this. Okay, that's what we're going to do.
More to iron.
Behind you, the rest of these.
Oh, where does this pile go?
Right here. All right. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to just mix them up. And they're going to go on the big triangle side, just because. That's what I'm going to do. So the big triangle. So now I'm just going to pre-lay them all out, sew them all on, and chain piece the whole lot of them. Both these guys right here, I will just choose, because these ones are the 4 colors all together in the first place. For these ones on the long sashing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, if these 2 colors are the side that the thing is on, oh, I can't do that because then there won't be an equal amount. There's not going to be an equal amount if I do it that way. So it's just going to be random. If a red lands on a red with these ones, then it doesn't matter. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. It's just going to be random on those ones.
Is that a pattern, or are you making it up as
I'm making it up as I go because that's what I do 90% of the time in this room. All right, so I'm going to lay these all out, and I think...
Very seldom does the boss ever follow that.
Yeah, it's seldom that I follow patterns. Oh, there's the rest of them right here. All right, let's put them all with the triangles going this way. Oh, these weren't even pressed yet. These are just finger pressed. No wonder they were still over there.
That's what I'm saying. You keep giving me all this different, I don't know where I'm at.
All right.
Mind up.
So these ones I'm just going to rotate and have an equal amount. So I'm going to start with these guys.
This one, the seam was pressed open. What was wrong with that?
Oh, because I need them either one way or the other.
Oh, well.
All right, so I'm going to make a stack here. We're going to start with this one, and then
You're just being picky.
this one. And then I'm going to rotate it. So if it was this way, I'm now going to rotate it 1. And then I'm going to insert a red, then a blue.
Can we call this yet?
Yeah. What are we at?
Can I do my job?
It makes it... I don't even see the comment anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can I be done ironing in 30 seconds so we can call this? So I can put that away?
Yep.
I keep asking you and you say no, and then when I get to be done, then, oh yeah.
Okay, if it was that way, let's rotate it 1.
Valerie Bull, 75.
Valerie Bull, 75 going once. Valerie Bull is 75 going twice. Sold the Valerie Bull for 75. Yay! Congratulations. All right, that was this way. So now we're going to rotate it this way once. And we're going to start with the green as the long one. And we're going to do the flower as the short one. All right. Now if it was this way, we're going to rotate it once. And we're going to do blue, then green. And I'm going to stop at 20 because there's only 40 of these. So I'm going to do 20 of each. Yeah. Hold on. Where are we at then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this would be 6. Rotate once.
Okay, now what am I ironing?
Those.
These ones?
Yep.
Am I ironing them upside down?
No, you're pushing them. I've already finger pressed them back, so all you have to do is push the seam back.
Then it's on you. Aha!
All right, now another one. This will make number 7. Rotate once. Now we're at this color. And then red. I'm doing an equal amount of both. And the other ones will just get jumbled up. Rotate once. I'm going to do green. And then flower. This will be 8. Rotate once.
Valerie to email us.
Valerie, shoot me an email and tell me how you want to pay with either Zelle or PayPal. PayPal does have a small fee.
She's the one that bought the Christmas.
Yep. We're going to put this one right here.
Yeah, last week.
7,
So she should know.
1,
But in case she doesn't.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 already. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's with a remainder of 4. Okay. Where are we at? It was this way. Rotate once. Now we're going red. And blue. It's this way. Rotate once. Now we're going to have flower. Then red. Okay. Rotate once. Green. Then flower. Wow, I'm really like going with a theme going on here. Rotate once. So now we're at blue with green. Go once. Now red with blue. Next. Now we're flowers and red. Once green and flowers. All right, I'm this way now. Turn once. Or blue and green. Once. Red and blue. And then 2 more. Rotate. Flower. And then red. And last one. Rotate once. And we'll be doing green long and flower short. There we go. So that should be an equal amount for all of these. Now to figure out what to do. These ones are just going to be random because they're all random. So hopefully there's an equal amount. We'll pull 20 of them. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Okay.
12.
Now these ones is done. Now what's next? I'm ready now. Got me fired up.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There we go. So there's 20 of those. That leaves a remainder of 3. And these are just going to be random. So let's hope there's an equal amount for those. I guess I'll piece all these first. So I'm going to start by attaching the smaller piece to the side. I did grab, yes, okay. So I'm just going to start sliding these all through. I guess I'll leave that down there and keep this up here. And they should be 6.5 inches, same size as my block. I didn't have to do no trimming because these were die cut pieces and everything fit together perfectly. So all I have to do is put them all together. Yay. I guess that's one thing about die cutting with, like using the AccuQuilt, is that everything is exactly the size you need it to be once it's sewn if you use a correct 1/4 inch seam. So everything should match properly and just all the good stuff that you're looking for when you're trying to have, a nice quilt. It's all matchy-matchy and accurate, So these are going to yield me a 9.5 inch block, which is pretty good size. And I'm going to have 40 pieces, 40 blocks. I just need to figure out a layout for 40.
Do you use a scant 1/4 inch seam?
Nope, I use a true 1/4 inch seam and I use my seam guide. The only time I use a scant 1/4 inch is if I'm using thicker fabrics, but with batiks, they are thinner, and a true 1/4 inch seam usually works great because they're thinner. Also, the thinner the weight of your thread, so 40, 50, and so on weight threads, that thinner the thread, the easier it's going to not be as thick of a seam when you go to press it back. That thread isn't so thick, so it's not taking as many, I guess it would be millimeters of away from your seam once you press it back. So it is also good to have a thinner weight thread, so if your thread is a lot thicker, say you're using some kind of thicker thread, I would say then adjust to a scant 1/4 inch. But so you take that into play. You also take the thickness, like I said, of the fabrics into play. So since I'm using batiks, they're a lot thinner. They lay flatter when you use the regular quilting cottons. Some of those fabrics can get really thick. So take that into account, when you're pressing your seams and stuff. Make sure that those are pressed back nicely. Use a thinner thread, and everything should work out. Just check your seam, sew 1 or 2 pieces with your 1/4 inch and see if it lines up like it's supposed to, or sew 1 or 2 pieces with a scant and see if that lines up. It's okay to do a scant 1/4 inch because you always can trim down. If you, after sewing 5 scant 1/4 inches on something that wants a regular 1/4 inch seam, you'll have a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch left over in total to trim around. But you know what I mean? So it's a slight difference, but it's nothing that'll. This is a 40 weight, or it's 40. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me pull one out. 50 weight. I am using 50 weight. So it is smaller. The Aurifil that I use is 40 weight. No, it is 50 weight too. So both of those are 50 weight, yeah. There's all sorts of things that can vary into your seams, honestly. Did you starch first? Did you press a certain way? Did you make sure that the seam was fully open? Did you stretch anything? You know, there's all sorts of things to take into account if it's not adding up, or if it's, well, actually not adding up would be the only thing. It would be opposite. It's either too big or too small. All right, so now I'm just going to finger press these back and then put them back down, and that should be in line for the opposite side color when I sew them. I might have to flip them around though. I might have turned them around. I'm not sure. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, I'm sewing with a regular 1/4 inch seam, and I'm finger pressing between steps, and I'm still lining up. So I guess it just depends. Some machines too, you gotta check your 1/4 inch seam on your machine. Sometimes it'll show it, on your needle plate, the measurements, but sometimes those are off, especially if you adjust your needle because you have computerized and you can adjust your needle from side to side. Just make sure you get those both equal with each other like they're supposed to be. It's best to just drop your needle down and stick a measuring tool, like a ruler right here. Put your needle at the 1/4 inch or slightly inside of it, because the needle is kind of wide. Then you would stick, because it's wider than the lines on the ruler, stick the needle right next to that, and then line something up next to it. Put some tape down, some washi tape, stack a bunch of layers of that, or put, like I use, a magnetic seam guide, and then go from there. A 35 what? Oh, I never heard of 35 weight thread.
That's what Jim uses.
I've heard of 30 weight. But then I only buy sale threads, so I don't know. There could be all sorts of different stuff that I don't know about.
I was going to say, that sounds different. 35 weight. We've been talking about 40, 50, and even 80. We're talking about 80.
Yeah, that's a very thin.
35.
All right, one more. All right, did it go on this side? Yes, because it's opposite of this. Let's make sure. Opposite of that. Yep, let's make sure. Opposite of that. Okay, good. This is the correct side right here. Oh, okay. This ruler? This is a 2.5 by 8 inch ruler. It's a Missouri Star ruler. I'm not an affiliate with them, so I don't have a link for you, but you guys know Missouri Star Quilt Company. If you've been quilting any longer than a year, you should know who Missouri Star Quilt Company is by now. You know what I'm really liking about today's project? Guess what I hadn't had to do? Use a ruler and a rotary cutter. Everything was all ready for me.
That's true.
I didn't have to do any cutting, trimming, anything. No prep work.
What's nice about this little box thing, this whatever it's called.
From
PM,
PMQ, yeah, the Puzzle Mystery Quilt Company.
It comes already.
Cotton cuts, yeah. That's why I really wanted to try a Puzzle Mystery Quilt, because everything's already. You get your clues, and then, it's a mystery what's going to look like, but you get your clues, and they come pre-cut, and all you have to do is sit down and sew them. It's always intrigued me, and that's why Ian and Becca both do them. So I thought maybe someday I will. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. Oh man, that piece was short, or that piece was long. Oh well, I'm gonna still use it anyway. We're just gonna pretend. Not sure that these rectangles were die cut, but then they probably were because they came from that company. One of 20 so far was short. So either my piecing, Scott's pressing, or both. Which is okay. I can trim them all down if I need to, just because of one piece. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, Scotty put a link for the cutting mat in. Sorry, I veered off. Not good. And it's the wrong direction to piece it. Trying not to stretch or yank or pull on this because batiks are a lot thinner and they drive me nuts with the seam ripper, especially since my seam ripper head is kind of dull. I need to replace that. All right. All right, Tiffany. So straight this time. I totally pulled the whole piece in, so it made a wider seam. Beyond my seam guide. Sometimes I jump over that seam guide, and I cannot help it. It just happens. I never said I was perfect. Any questions, Mr. Squiddy? Does anybody have any questions while we're here? Got about 15 minutes of run time left because I try not to go over 2 hours. Oop. I also try not to run out of bobbin thread, but you know, I can't control that one either. I'm on my last bobbin too. Oop. And yes, I use the same thread when I'm piecing in my bobbin and as the top. I don't use some have asked me in the past if I've used like a thinner weight in the bobbin or something or different whatever. Not really. I just wind a bunch of bobbins from the thread color that I'm using and use those. And today just so happens to be white thread because that's the spool that I'm on. Although I've already gone through, since I bought all these spools of thread, I've already gone through 2 full spools. Can you believe that? That's how much sewing I do. On the long arm, on the other hand, it takes a while. Usually I can get like 2 queen size, 3 queen size quilts from 1 spool of thread. And that's heavy quilting.
Well, those are ginormous spools.
Yeah, they're ginormous spools. These are tiny spools. one more of the hourglass with the borders on it, or sashing, whatever you want to call this. And now to just start sewing the other ones, because honestly it doesn't really matter. I'm mixing those ones up. So these ones are kind of uniform, but the other ones will be totally a mess. All right, there's 20 of those. I'm just going to set them aside, but I'm going to hold one block up so that you can see. Just going to finger press that, and it's a 9.5 inch block now. Let's make sure. 9.5, 9.5, exactly. So that's what my blocks look like. Every single one of these is, the color that's here is opposite to here, and there is opposite to there. So every single one of them is going to be opposite, because I rotated the blocks. So opposite, opposite. So these ones will be kind of, sort of uniform in a way. These ones, on the other hand, I'm just going to grab and sew. So I'm literally just going to take this whole stack here and this, and I'm going to try not to grab a red for this one because I'm just going to sew on the triangle side. So I'm just going to, I should just like separate them as long as I'm not grabbing the same one when I do the top. I should be good. So I'm just going to run these through. It really doesn't matter as long as it's not the same color as the big, huge triangle. And let's just hope that we end with an equal amount. Because we might not end with an equal amount. I might have two of the same. You never know. Huh?
Put the link where we buy glide thread.
Oh, Scotty put the link where we buy glide thread for our local quilt shop. I think it's $1 cheaper at my local quilt shop than it is at most of the online places that sell glide right now.
What number do you have the seam guide on?
I have it on no number. It kind of sits in front of the 1/4 line because it's wrong. I don't know if you guys know this, but most of the notches that are on this needle plate are wrong. All of my machines that I own, they're all wrong. Every single one of them. So just know that the needle plate markings are like a sort of guide. When I measure it, my seam guide sits about 3 millimeters this way. I don't know if that's millimeters. It could be semi-millimeters. I don't know. I just know that it's to this side of the line, and the line is way far that way. And I measured with a ruler, and I've done different rulers from my room, and it has the same result every single time. My seam guide is always on the inside of the line and not on the line or the outside of the line. It's always the same this way.
Have you seen the rulers that light up?
I have not seen rulers that light up. I don't think I would want rulers that light up. Maybe on black fabric, but I wouldn't want it on any other fabric. I think that would screw with my eyeballs. I have bad vision as it is already. I don't want to make it worse. So I have not seen them. I'm pretty sure that someone's invented them, but I wouldn't use them. Oh. Well, was it cool? Did it look awesome? Curious. Oh. Yeah. Stuff like that would be pricey. And then it and then it would also need batteries of some sort to light it. So you also would have to pay for batteries to light it.
$70 of batteries very last forever.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a chargeable. Comes with a recharger.
Oh. They should just make it solar. You stick your stuff outside for a little while and bam, it lasts all day. I think I'm running out of combinations here. Choose red on this one. That would leave a blue for that. Oh, nope, we can't do that. So we have to put flower blue on this one. Nope, nope. Flower has to go on this one and that one, and red for this one. We ended with a weird amount, so I had to swap them out. It's a good thing I checked first. I'll do the same with the next pile too. When we do the other ones, the opposite side. Any other questions?
Joey likes Fabrics Unlimited.
Hmm?
Joey likes Fabrics Unlimited.
Yeah, that's a nice little store. All right. Come on. All right, so now I just need to press all these and attach the other side. But I'm going to go ahead and get wound down for getting off of here. And then next week, since I'm working on it, I might as well just continue next week because we got to figure out a layout for all of this disaster. So I will sew the other sides on next week and then lay them out somewhere, some way, somehow. Alrighty, so any questions? If you guys have questions, ask now or forever hold your peace until next Sunday.
So is this going to be on next Sunday?
Next Sunday. What's next Sunday?
What are you doing next Saturday? You already said.
Oh, next Saturday is my birthday, and Alexa will be here.
Yeah,
so
what is going to happen next Sunday?
Alexa is going to come in here and visit while I'm on live stream. Her and her girlfriend. I don't know if her girlfriend is one to be on camera, so she might not be, but I know at least Alexa will, because she's never minded being on camera.
What's your preferred batting?
My preferred batting, honestly, I use them all. I like them all equally, but if I was to have the best of both worlds, the puff and the warmth, I would say 80-20. Because it quilts really nicely. So you get a puff, but you also get the warmth in the quilt. So 80-20 would be the go-to. But if I want a super puffy quilt or I want a lot of definition with some heavy quilting, I would use polyester only and or a layer of cotton and a layer of poly. Usually I don't double layer it though because I buy 4-ounce poly and I buy 6-ounce poly. So I really never have to layer anything. I get really good definition. And then regular cotton. So many brands are thinner or thicker. It just depends on the brand you buy. So when I use cotton, I usually use it because I know the quilt doesn't need to be fancy puffy. It doesn't need to look like a comforter, but it doesn't need to look, you know what I mean? So I would use the cotton because it matches because I use bleached cotton, the white, and I also have unbleached as well, but I usually use bleached for under white fabrics. But I want a functional quilt, so that's why I always pull for the cotton, because I want functional quilts.
Have you used Todd's 80-20 cotton wool blend?
I have not used a cotton wool blend, no. I just used 80-20 cotton poly blends. I have not bought any wool blends because honestly I can't afford it. So, you know, even sitting on quilts, even though you guys know I sell my quilts, I sell everything I do most of the time. It's hard to have those kind of things if I'm just going to sit on it and it never goes anywhere. And for my family and stuff, none of them want heavy wool hot quilts. So I don't use wool because we live in Arizona. So there's the other reason why I don't get it. So I wouldn't buy the blend either. Alrighty. Well, I'm done with this for now. I'm just going to box it up for next week. I'm going to sew the opposite half on. So it'll get, you know, another side on it. And then these blocks will be done. And then we will lay them out and see what we can do with the 40 blocks, even though we're probably only going to use like 36 or 38. Something like that, with however across by however down. And then the other blocks we made were these. So we have an hourglass version, and then for some reason I know that there is a name to this style block. I just am blanking it at the very moment. I don't know. Why can't I think of it? I don't know. All right. That's it. No questions?
I didn't answer.
All righty, my friends. It's about that time I let y'all go and you can go to bed. You can stay up and watch older videos of mine. You can run through all my friends' channels who have been linked to today. Do whatever it is you do on a Sunday night. I am going to go lay in bed, kick my feet up, and watch some TV because I'm really addicted to watching Blacklist. It's a really good show. It's about the FBI and profilers and so on and so forth. And it's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go do that. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.